You still haven't received any messages from Millennium? Yeah, that guy's been ghosting me for a very long time right now. Well, do you perhaps know why? I tried asking him that question on text, but he still wasn't responding. That is a bit odd. Wait, what the? What? No goddamn way!
Millennium? Where have you been? GMK's been trying to text you for a while right now.
Den Moonhelden, I say. Since when did you become German?
Yeah. Why are you speaking in German?
Have you guys forgotten that ever since my movie ended with Godzilla vs. Megaguirus, I was done with my career and moved to Germany, and I've been living there for 26 years.
That still doesn't excuse the fact that you've been ghosting me for a long time. Why haven't you been answering my text?
Deutschland lost.
Germany lost? Lost in what?
The World Cup.
What happened?
We lost in penalties against Paraguay. Oh.
Yeah, I can understand why now.
Now, if you may excuse me, I will go to the pub and drink my sorrows away.
Man, Millennium changed a lot. Yeah, he did. And when did he start drinking beer?
Hello everyone, Wolf Fiber Plush Productions here with another review video. And this time, it's on the Hiya Toys Godzilla 2000, or Godzilla 1999, but he's called Millennium Godzilla. And my first impressions on this guy, he is actually really amazing, but of course, he has a bit of flaws to this. Let's get started with the sculpting and painting. This is definitely one of Hiya's most best sculpted Godzilla figure. I mean, this guy faithfully recreates this guy from the movie Godzilla 2000 and also Godzilla vs. Megaguirus. But Godzilla Megaguirus, well, Meyer Goji is greener, while this guy just still retains his black coloring. But the sculpting on this guy is amazing. This guy just looks like he's alive and just came out of the movie. And the painting on this guy is really nice with bits of weathering. But the head sculpt is one of the highlights of this figure. I mean, the eyes are so accurate when you look into the front. This looks perfect. And now for the mouth, the teeth are painted really well. But as for the mouth, it's a bit orange. But I don't know why. But I haven't seen the movie Godzilla 2000. And also on the painting on the nails, I don't have any opinions because they're tiny, but the painting on the toes, they're really good. I have to admit, it has a dirty brown to it. But the biggest highlight of this figure are the dorsal spikes. Look how well painted these things are. They come from like just a grayish feel to a nice metallic magenta, which definitely elevates this figure even further. And it just happens to like go along all the way over here. Oh, sorry. Right here, ends right there. And then the rest of the tail is just, yeah, unpainted. But 2/3 of the tail is painted with the dorsal spike, so that's good. But most importantly, this figure is solid. Well, somewhat. This is where we get to the biggest issue on this figure. It's a bit loose in some joints, but with being loose, you don't have to roast the figure to loosen the ball joints, well, and also the rest of the plastic, which is really good. It makes it really fluid. But it also just makes the chest area loose. Like, if you shake this up, it just comes loose immediately. But, yeah, now we reach to the biggest problem, and it's right here. If you just move this hand around, yeah, this is the rare occasion of QC issue, the quality control. This hand is a bit too loose, but good thing, this hand right here, this is not loose, so nothing to worry about. But I've heard on some copies that this hand was loose, but yeah, but on my copy, I didn't get this problem, but only on this hand, so yeah. Now, speaking of fluidity, thanks to its looseness, it is quite fun to pose, but due to his sculpting, he's a bit limited, but not too limited. So anyways, let's get started with the head. The head is like on 3 ball jointed segments. It looks like it's in 2, but there's like a ball joint segment right here, which is really cool. You can look up this far, which is really nice, and down this far, which is also really nice, but it's also a bit gappy, so you can just cheat this and make it more natural to like fix the gap problem. And of course, we get back, he has somewhat nice side to side movement looks, but mostly it's right here, and of course every ball joint, so yeah. But of course, the mouth open, the tongue is articulated. Now we get to the arms, just a full 360 rotation. Basically, any standard Godzilla arm can go up that high, which is really good. There's a bicep swivel, but a bit limited because this is like more of a muscle to like help with the arm right here, but it can go there, so yeah. And it can do this a full 90-degree with like the integrated joint with this to like elevate further, and of course ball joint here, and it's loose again. God damn it! Hold on 1 second. All right. Anyways, let's get to the rest. Now the waist. It's very fluid right here, and has probably the best ab crunch because you can look down that far, but doesn't really have an arching back, but has some nice side to side movement, and also a really nice waist swivel. And god damn it, the hand is off. Okay, the hand is back on. Now let's get to the legs. The legs can go up that far, which is good, and go back this far, so yeah, it's kind of limited. He has like a good spread right here. And as for the knee joint, it's a 90-degree. And it's pretty good, but of course kind of weird. But I like how they're like doing a little different by using this calf swivel. There's a little bit of movements right here, but of course it has a ball joint segment, can go there and down, and also a nice ankle pivot, which is pretty good. But now let's get to the tail. This guy has 23 ball jointed segments, and it's very fluid, and it can do some nice curvy poses at like the first portion, but at the second portion, the curviness kind of disappears. But you can get into the tail is really nice. Alright, now that I'm done with the posing, he poses pretty good. Due to like some little bit of limitations, primarily with the legs, but not too bad. He poses pretty good, but there are a bit of problems with the posability. And that's just the engineering decisions. It's primarily with the dorsal spike right here and this section of the tail. You see, this figure took a bit of inspiration from Godzilla Evolved, but improving it a lot better and making it a little more posable. But they could have integrated that inspiration from Evolved with the dorsal spike where it can like feel more natural, but now it just feels a little bit gappy in the area. And as the ball joint segments, also it's a reminders of Evolved Godzilla where there are two segments of the tail were connected together, but don't have enough curviness to make it really natural and like very posable, like Heisei Godzilla. Alright, time for accessories. So basically, like any standard Godzilla figure for Hiya, just swappable hands. And for this hand, which is right here, you think that it would be easy to fit this into the ball joint with this loose hand, but no, it's actually quite tight for some reason, which is kind of weird. But anyways, yeah, I just wish that there's like an extra atomic breath part just to add in the more of the play factor for this guy. But of course, there's a heat ray version, and that is kind of my least favorite part about Hiya. I'm not into heat ray versions. And if you guys think I'm getting heat ray versions, then you're kind of dead wrong. I'm not getting heat ray versions. I'm just keeping the standard Godzillas because having two of the same figures just doesn't seem right to me. Now time for some size comparisons with my two previously reviewed figures, the Hiya Toys GMK Godzilla and Hiya Toys MonsterVerse King Ghidorah. God damn, you big! Okay, so I also decided to bring two more Godzillas, which are Heisei Godzilla and Evolved Godzilla. And as we see here, yeah, the biggest problem with this figure, that it's a little bit too short compared to these guys. But I'm actually thinking of getting that 2.0 version of this figure to like help with the improvements. Because one, that has some clear plastic dorsal plates. Two, it actually has a similar head to it, which is a neutral head without the glowing eyes or anything. Well, there's of course the secondary head to add in the atomic breath part. But yeah, I'm thinking of getting that guy. But anyways, moving this guy aside, let's bring in with these three Toho Godzillas. And as we see here, Heisei Godzilla is kind of like the shortest guy here, while GMK and Millennium are a bit taller. But on who's taller, it's GMK, thanks to its neck articulation, well, the neck system, because he's quite hunched back. Okay, time for our final thoughts. Despite the glaring issues with this figure in terms of like, well, the engineering primarily, and also the QC issue, this is definitely one of Hiya's best releases. I mean, this guy is incredibly faithful to the movie. So, my overall rating for this guy is 8.5 out of 10. Great sculpting, good posability, but could have fixed the issues with the QC and the engineering. So, yeah, that's it for my review on Millennium Godzilla. And also, if you guys haven't heard, I heard that Monster X will be coming to Calcus Toys soon. Yeah, Monster X, the figure that's supposed to come out in the fourth quarter of this year. And it's coming this early. And I'm very excited for that figure. And I'm definitely planning on getting Monster X because I've seen like the review from Hiya, like the video, the display. This guy seems to be one of Hiya's most articulated figures. And I really want him. But anyways, that's it for today's review video. And I highly suggest you guys get him because on Inthobby, because this is the only online website where this guy is available. Because most of the online stores, this guy is just up for pre-order still. So just go on Inthobby to pick this guy up. So anyways, that's it for today's video, and I'll see you guys next time on episode 35. Bye.